I'm so delighted to have this chance to sit down and speak with Flor Villazan. Flor, thank you so much for joining me. How is your day going?
Hi, Todd. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes.
Day is beautiful, sunny and beautiful.
Nice. You and I asked you right before I hit record where you are, and you said New York City. So it's a
Yes,
beautiful day in New York. I love hearing that.
yes. I'm in New York and I live in Long Island. Yes, that
Wonderful.
is New York.
Do you teach at the Dharma Yoga Center?
No, I don't. I have sub, but not taught like regular teaching. No, no.
Nice. Do
Mhm.
you teach on Long Island?
Yes,
Is
I
there a
do.
part, do you have a studio or do you teach at a particular studio?
I teach in a couple of studios and I teach in other places and you know regular privates and workshops and teacher trainings and stuff.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Where are you from originally?
I was born in Venezuela, hmm in Caracas, and I've been living in New York for almost 38 years now.
Wonderful. Amazing. What
Yes.
what drew you to New York originally?
Originally, dance. Yeah, I was a dancer like hundreds of years ago at this point. But that's why I came here. I came to study modern dance. Studied in Venezuela and I came here and continued my dance education for many years.
Nice.
And, and then wandered around and found yoga.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you grow up dancing?
A little bit, not too much. I started late,
Mhm.
like late 19.
Yeah.
That's late. But I loved it. I always wanted to dance, and finally I was able to join a school of modern dance, and I fell in love with it. It was like I needed to dance. Like I know that that's one of the things that I needed to do.
Yeah.
So it was beautiful, and then dance led me to New York. I applied to school, and they accepted me, and I came.
Nice, nice. Did you end up taking dance into the professional arena or in terms of like being a paid professional dancer, or was it more of a study and hobby?
I did actually I perform and it was more like an underground companies, right?
Yeah,
Sometimes get paid, sometimes did not. I choreographed and I travel dancing too,
nice.
but no, not professional as belong to the main companies of that.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
but I dance and I enjoyed so much. Yeah,
nice. Do
yes,
you still dance for fun?
for fun, yes. For
And and like what is dancing for fun look like for you? Like putting on music in your home and just letting loose in the kitchen, or um on when you go to parties with friends, or like I'm just kind of curious. I mean, I like to dance too, but
yeah.
definitely not professionally, mostly just in my
Yeah.
kitchen when no one's watching, but I'm curious like what, you know.
Sometimes in the kitchen,
All
yes.
right. All right.
Sometimes I do some friends, and sometimes I go on and take a class for
Yeah.
fun, and it's a lot of fun.
That's cool. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
So you'll still just go take a dance class
Hmm.
and just immerse yourself in somebody else's technique style and enjoy being a student, it sounds like.
Oh, yes, eternal student of everything, so it's great. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I'm always
amazing.
learning something, whether it's, with the body, with joy, with the spirit, whatever it is, and I'm just like, whoa, that rhythm is amazing. So I keep
Yeah,
dancing. Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
Very
Yeah.
cool. Well, then I'm super curious what your first yoga experience was.
Mm. So when I entered the yoga community and the yoga world, uh, I didn't know anything about yoga, and I took a class at a gym that was a great teacher, and we're still friends. She, it was like a a hippie yoga class with and it was fun. And for me, it was like, oh wow, this is like dancing, and at the same time, I didn't know what else was happening with the postures and that. But I I loved her class, and I guess I had a spiritual experience at the Shavasana. And the next time I asked her, minutes later, I asked her, is yoga something that you can study? And she said, yes. Do you want to study yoga? And I say, sure. I think so. I don't know. And she wrote in a little piece of paper, Dharma Mittra. And she said, go home and Google him. So I did that. And there he was, my whole complete Shavasana experience, Dharma, for the yoga class and everything.
Yeah.
So that was my first encounter with yoga.
Amazing. What year was that? Do you remember?
Yes, that was, what year was that? Almost 17 years this October.
Nice.
So whatever that year was, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, let's not rack our brains and try to do math right now. I'm kidding.
Yeah. I have no idea.
Well, that's cool. So like it sounds like you one class in a gym and then into a very um real yoga space, I'm not saying that the gym isn't a real yoga space. I think all spaces are real, but sometimes you walk into studios and or centers where you can really feel that there's history, that there's a camaraderie with the group. There's just something that's palpable. And I have not yet had an opportunity to practice at Dharma's studio in New York. I've had a chance to practice with him here in Florida a long time ago, but I've heard so many great things. So I'm curious, can you talk a little bit about what you felt, what sort of eye-opening experiences you had? What was some of the, if you can remember 17 years ago, what were some of the thoughts and feelings that you had?
Um, well, there's a lot. It's still, when I think about it, I'm always like, wow, all that happened in a moment. So, well, like I say, I went the next day, and I entered the studio. Dharma was not there that day. Um, and as soon as I entered the studio, I just cried. I was just crying, and I was like, "Oh, what's happening to me?" It was all
Like
this
no real, you don't know what the
power.
trigger was? You don't remember did you see something? Did you hear something? What do you think it was?
I mean, I think it definitely was this, the center itself,
Yeah.
so much love in that place, and I just cried for 2 hours, and I took a yoga class and with one of the teachers, and it was an amazing class. And I went back the next day, and she said, "Oh, you came back for more pain and suffering." And I said, "I guess so. Will I still cry?" I asked her, and she said, "Let's see." I cried more, but I started laughing too. So it was an explosion of emotions and
Yes.
all kind of things. I didn't really, And I was also like amazed of the practitioners, the the flexibility they had, the poses, everything. I was like, oh, what is this? Wow! I was just blown away by the whole experience.
Yeah.
Yes.
Amazing. Amazing.
And then a week later, I went back because Dharma was there, and I met him, and that was like I said, oh, this is it. That's it. I had this clarity that that was it. I didn't have to go anywhere else. I
Wow.
didn't. I still didn't know what yoga was or whatsoever, but I knew that I was in the right place. Mm.
That is really cool. I remember, I think I hope I remember this correctly, and you might have heard this story as well, so maybe you'll be able to back it up or clarify for me. But I feel like I remember hearing that because Dharma had his teacher, that there was another situation where he was going to go, there was like somebody that was also in that lineage that was teaching, and he decided not to go because he almost like didn't want to disrespect his original teacher. Does that story ring a bell at all? I mean, sometimes I listen to stories and what I hear, and then when I find out what they're actually saying, like I heard something completely different, but
I
have you have
don't know. I don't know.
have you come across that concept of somebody having a guru, a teacher that they really admire, that they almost feel such a sense of loyalty to that teacher that they don't want to even go practice with anybody else because they feel just so committed and deeply involved in that one particular setting.
Sure. Yes. Yes. Many. I know many people.
Yeah.
Yes, like that,
Yeah.
including myself. Yeah,
Yeah.
because that was. I mean, once I met Dharma, and yeah, I was just like I said, I say, oh, this is it. I don't have to do anything else. I don't have to go anywhere else. Whatever I have to do it here with him. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was super clear, and I he's my guru and my only teacher really. And like, I mean, I have taken phone classes with friends, and I always learn from different from everyone. But like the teacher, is Dharma. So
Yeah. Yeah. Amazing.
yeah.
Well, in the last 17 years, I'm gathering that if you live on Long Island, it's not terribly difficult for you to travel into the city to go practice. How often do you do that nowadays?
Every time Dharma teaches, I'm there. Yeah.
Like weekly, then? You travel there, you go in regularly?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Amazing.
4 days a week for 17 years.
Oh, wow. So you still go 4 days. So you still
Yeah.
how long is it?
Mhm.
Um, uh, Tell me a little. My dad grew up in Long Island, then he moved here to Florida, so I was born here. So I've been to New York, but I don't really understand the commute from Long Island into the city. What does that look like for you? How long does that take, and what's your method of getting in and out?
Yeah, I'm in Long Beach,
Uh-huh.
and so I take the train, and it's 1 hour. It really is fast, and
Yeah,
to Penn
that's
Station, and then I just walk 10 minutes into the center.
very cool.
Before I used to walk 25 because the studio was on Third Avenue and 23rd, then
Gotcha.
15 because it was on 23rd and between 5th and 6th, and about the same because we're on 24th now.
Yeah,
So it's three studios and with him. But
got it.
yeah, it's like, I mean, if I'm not in New York, I'm somewhere else, it's okay. But if I'm
Yeah,
here,
yeah,
it's when you know that, oh, this is the best place that I need to be,
yeah,
and it's perfect that time. And if it helped me, of course, with discipline, a lot of discipline with myself by committing, just by committing to everything else.
yeah.
And yeah, it's just, for me, it's effortless. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, do you feel like because of yoga and then quite possibly your experience with dance prior to yoga, that committing to structure, routine, having a devotional practice or being devoted to something where you make commitment, do you feel that that has been a challenge for you or do you feel like you need it so much and you feel the value in it so much that it's not challenging for you? Where are you at now in that whole experience?
Mm, well, with dance, in dance there is always competition, no matter what. Yeah. But I never had that, the feeling that I needed to compete to dance, because I just always did it for fun. I really did. And then it became something that, oh, I'm actually, I can choreograph, I can do this. And I created, and it was beautiful, to share that, and to dance with other people. But there was always, oh, that turn wasn't good or whatever, right? Or your split is not good enough or whatever, blah, 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 blah. So it was always this side. But with the poses, with yoga, that is completely the opposite, right? So for me, it has been not difficult at all to be there. Of course, going through the process of the body, the purification with the asana and the whole thing, yes, and the mind, right? But Not difficult. No,
Yeah.
no.
Amazing.
It's completely the opposite. It have helped me in everything else. Yes.
That's cool. Do you have students that you see that you think would benefit if they became a little bit more disciplined?
Yes.
Yeah, that was the
Like
easy
all
one
of us.
answer.
Like all of us.
Like all
Yes.
of us. Yeah, good
Yes.
point. Good point. Good
Yes.
point.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hear you. I hear you. What really lights you up these days in relation to yoga? Like I was able to go through your Instagram feed and it looks like you play guitar and harmonium, so that you enjoy music and kirtan and bhakti. Can you talk a little bit about that and how that became something that you became passionate about?
Sure. So, practicing the forms of yoga, I I never really sang before, and one day it was like this need to sing, and I was like, oh, I need to sing. It was like, oh, and I just said, okay, I'm just gonna start singing with mantras, and I I I used to play piano when I was younger, and I said, oh, maybe the harmonium. And I started playing harmonium and singing a little bit of mantras, just a tiny bit here and there. And then it just happened that I started singing more, and I love it. It's very, yes, of course, very devotional. Um, I love sharing with others the chanting, and usually, there is like a call or response. For me, it's just like, okay, just listen once and that's it. Join me the whole time. Like I don't need call and response.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also um, in the different instruments that I have never played. Just I just started playing, and I was like, oh, I'm playing. So it's a cuatro. The it's not. I don't play guitar, but I play cuatro. It's actually a
Ah,
Venezuelan instrument.
yes.
Yeah, it's a very beautiful instrument that is. And I just started playing it, and this is an instrument that you play in Venezuela as is for from the folklore music, folkloric instrument, right?
Yeah.
And you play to the cows when they're milking them, and you sing. So I related to that. For me, it was really singing to the cows, singing to the mothers, singing to everyone with this instrument was something that was um, very heart opening for me. Like
Wow.
yeah, from the even the mantras, because I don't go too deep into the classical ragas or mantras, too much. It just comes to me in the different tunes, and but the mantras come in Sanskrit, others come in English, other comes in Spanish. So a little bit of everything gets in there. Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. What a great concept to, if I'm a farmer, to go out into the field with my cattle and sing to them. I mean, and I've heard of people playing classical music or music in general for their plants. And I read a book called The Secret Life of Plants, where these scientists like studied plant physiology and put music and little hook up a little electrodes to the plants, and they had a way of measuring the vascular energy through the leaves, and they could pick up that, like if you took a flame and you brought it close to the plant, they could pick up some sort of excitement, almost as if like a plants have feelings, or could feel fear or have some sort of vibratory shift if there was perceived danger. So then I guess, I don't know, in our modern culture, I don't really feel like we think that if we went out and sang to the birds, I don't know, like in the morning, like, if you hear birds singing and you went out there and played guitar, that I'm going to consciously sing to the birds. What a great idea. That
Yeah,
sounds really fun to me. That sounds like a really great idea.
it
Can
is
you
amazing. I tell you.
What have you picked up on in relation to animal communication in the process of getting involved in that? Have you ever had some intuition that there
Yeah,
is a communication process happening?
absolutely.
And they,
I had an experience in Switzerland. I was playing with a friend under this beautiful tree in the mountains, and we were just playing. Actually, the Lokasama Sukino Babantu, he was playing guitar, and I'm playing the cuatro, and we get into the rhythm. And here comes this little bird. He sits there and he starts going with our rhythm. It's actually on Instagram. I have to send it to
I
you.
saw that. I
Oh,
saw that.
so he
I kind of,
joined.
yeah, no way.
It was
I didn't
amazing.
study it close enough, but I saw the first part of it and I thought, oh, it looks like they're in Italy. And then when I tried to read the comments below, it looked like maybe the description was written in Italian. Are you Italian?
No?
Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was in Spanish. I mean, have you ever written any of your captions in Italian?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
but I do travel to Italy. I teach there too. So, but
So you would then like just have something translate. You could write in English or Spanish and it would translate it into Italian. Is that maybe why it was?
maybe I don't.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
There are a few languages there. I don't know,
All
but
right. Yeah, yeah.
yes, they do absolutely. My dog. I had a dog up to January, and this as soon as I was playing piano, he will come sit under my feet between the pedals always
Yeah. Yeah.
and look at me when I started, and I was like, okay, here we go. And he's like, "Ooh," and that's it.
Oh,
And he's there no matter what. He was just there.
yeah.
And as soon as I stop, he will come up like, mm.
Why are you stopping?
Yeah, yes, and say, okay, be back.
Yes.
The very, very much. Yeah. But what I was telling you about singing to the cows. So in the in Venezuela, in the plains of Venezuela, the farmers that have the cattle, they it's traditional to bring the cuatro and sing to them, yeah, while another person milks them, right?
Mm.
And the songs are called tonadas, no? And they're really beautiful. And the cows relax the milk because they do it by hand, right?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
milk comes out, they're so relaxed, and they actually answer back, they sing also. Huh?
Wow.
Yeah, and it's all the time.
I hear you. I hear you. It makes perfect logical sense. I guess I haven't contemplated that in a while. I did have an experience in Western Australia where I met this kid that had grown up at Uluru at what used to be called Ayers Rock, but is now termed Uluru in the middle of Australia. He grew up in an Aboriginal or Indigenous community and he learned how to play didgeridoo. And when he left the community, he had come and he's like, I can call animals in with my didgeridoo. And I said, oh, really? Oh, okay. And he would specifically say, all right, kookaburra. And he would play a certain sound. And lo and behold, a kookaburra came in. So I'm like, well, wait, there's a lot of kookaburras around here. So, that could be coincidence, right? And then he goes for a different call, and a little bobtail lizard, one of the Aussie style lizards came walking in, and he would say, I'm calling this now. And it would happen. And it blew my mind. And it kind of made me think like, whoa, that's wild. That's so cool to think about animal communication through those sort of different sort of sound vibrations. And just even the thought of like maybe putting the intention in there, maybe there must be specific calls.
Mm.
But I love hearing this. I just think that's so fascinating.
Yeah, they're very receptive and
Yeah.
to sounds, to words,
Yeah.
and when of course when we express them with love, they know it, they come right away. Yeah. In Switzerland, I also had an experience with sheep. They were all everywhere, and I come to the fence. I was with a friend, and we were listening to a mantra when we were walking in the mountains, and I I let the mantra play. I didn't stop in the phone, right? And one of them went like, and all of a sudden, they all came, and they were hanging out with us with the phone. I just said, okay, it's the mantra. I said, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Wow.
and I was
They were
like,
so curious, huh? They were all so
very
curious.
curious, very curious. And then we started singing the mantra, and yeah. And one day I went to a place in Switzerland too, where they had some cows, a couple of them in indoors, right? And the conditions were not the best, right? Not at all. So I said, I want to get in there. My friend said, it's a little disturbing. And I said, it doesn't matter. I want to see the cows. So I went, and they were afraid, very afraid to get close to us. So they finally came. And as soon as they came, we put our hands like this in them, and we just chant to them. And they were just resting with their eyes closed in our hands, like,
Wow.
oh, yeah,
Wow.
yeah, it's definitely, they're sensitive, right? They're
Yeah. Yeah.
brothers and sisters.
Oh man, that's so cool, Flora. I love hearing that.
Yeah.
How much of it do you, when you're singing, do you put some sort of vision in your mind? Do you try to cultivate a feeling of love that when you are in a state of feeling love, that you try to recreate that feeling in your body and you feel like that is transmitted through your voice? Is that, how would you explain that whole thing that sometimes feels like it happens? Because the music just carries so much emotion. I can remember like the way you were explaining the story of the first time that you went into Dharma studio and you just started crying, like you don't even know where did that, why is that even coming in here? What is that? And like sometimes I'll think of it like when that's happened to me in the past where I have a lot of anticipation about the experience, and it can trigger some sort of emotive response when that gate is opened. And then sometimes I don't really have an anticipatory feeling in my body and it just happens. So I guess I'd love to just keep hearing from your side how you could put into words some of these things that you've picked up on through your yoga journey.
For me, I'm I'm not thinking that I'm singing. No? um, I just do it, and I ask, of course, oh, please sing through me, you know, Mm, just sing through me, and I let it be.
Mm.
I don't really think about it. I
Ah,
know what I'm going to sing, like I have to have a structure of songs, but I don't really think about it at all.
wow.
Many times they change as I go, and the person who plays with me knows that it's going to change because it's always happening. So he's ready to change quickly. But I don't, yeah. So, the body sometimes moves, which is part of what I've been also experiencing, how the body takes a rhythm with the music,
Yeah.
even if I'm playing one instrument or the other. And um, and the love is just there. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, it's just
You
there.
would it be accurate for me to use this terminology, and please feel free to correct me if you don't
Mm.
agree, that I recently, well, I guess I've come across channeled texts before, this idea that where an author will say, I didn't write that. Like it came into me and I just wrote that. And that's not me. I didn't premeditate this. And so, and it sounds to me a little almost like you're taking more of a channeled approach, like an intermediary approach where you're not constructing it ahead of time in your mind and that you're just like letting it flow through you on a very natural level. Does that, am I understanding you correctly?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's pretty much what it is. Yeah,
Cool. Cool.
that's how it actually started. Uh,
Wow.
yeah, I it just came to me one day. I was doing a workshop, and I invited a friend to play um, the hand drum, and I was sitting next to him, guiding a yoga nidra and a little bit of hand drum, and all of a sudden, this just came out, like, oh, and I started singing, and that actually we recorded that song a couple of years later, and that was the beginning. I said, okay, this may happen again. I said, I think I have a feeling that this may happen again, and that's how it started. Yeah.
Wow, Flor, that's really cool.
So,
Thank you so much. I know it might be personal to talk about, but I really appreciate you being open to kind of explaining that. Have you ever met up with any skepticism in your own mind, any doubt, any, like sometimes when I play music in front of people, it puts a different pressure than if I play in the quiet of my room where no one's there, and so and I notice too sometimes like if I'm in the here in my studio, and if I practice and nobody's in the room, and then I give keys to all the students so they can just come in whenever they want, and someone will walk in, and my practice will shift. Like the awareness that somebody else is there I mean, it makes sense because there's a new energy in the room, right? There's a whole nother thing. So it makes sense that that would be some sort of merging, and through that merging, there'd be some sort of something happens. And so I'm curious when you sing alone versus when you're around people or even animals for that matter,
yeah.
does it change it for you? Do you have something in your mind that goes, "Uh-oh, now I'm around people," like, or now I should perform? And if not, how do you get over that? How have you been able to through that?
When I do it alone, of course, it's very easy and very comfortable to the point that I'm like, okay, now I'm going to take a rest. And then I come back and, kind of like, no, I didn't practice enough. So I go back, right? I don't practice much, but when I do, I try to be steady with, okay, let me complete with this that it came, and now I complete it. But when I'm with people, it's like, I know what you're asking, but it's a very interesting feeling because it's not. I'm I am definitely not performing. Is there is a whole different aspect to it for me. Uh, Maybe because I did perform when I was dancing, and this is a whole different thing for me. It's not something that I know that I'm being used to sing, to share, and that's it. Yeah? Um, Last year, I think it was last year or the year before, I don't remember. I we actually went to Rome, and we had a concert in a theater, my friend and I, and that was a little scary because it was a theater. It was not a yoga studio or a friend's house or outdoors. And I was like, oh, I think there's a lot of people here. you know, I was like, okay, I guess I'm performing. And then I say, no. And I just close my eyes for a moment and I say, no, it's the same. You're singing to God and everyone. That's it. No worries. And then I was like, oh, okay. And it took over, this freedom, nothing else, not the doer with this. And that was it. But that was the only time that I actually felt something like, ah. The
Yeah,
rest,
yeah,
I don't see difference. It's devotion, and it's just
yeah.
love, whatever comes.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What other aspects of yoga? And then I know we could probably both agree that let me ask you, do you think that everything is yoga? Like once you practice yoga long enough, you start to see everything has the potential for it to feel as if it's a part of my practice.
Yes. Absolutely. Everything is yoga. Yes.
So
Yeah.
then what other activities and or practices do you also take this similar approach to getting out of the way of feeling like it's you, like your floor is doing this, as opposed to this is an energy that's just kind of moving through me and it's not me, so to speak, like my name, my occupation, my age, my gender, my all that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
Are there other things that
Yes.
you try to get into that sort of space with?
Sure. Um, Well, at this point, pretty much everything,
Okay. All right.
because yeah, yeah,
Yes.
because it's like okay, mm, yeah, everything is yoga, so there is not really one or the other that is not a part. Right? So I'm a mother of two. They're grown up. You know, they don't live with me neither. Everybody's responsible now, and so when I see my children, it's like. We treat each other like, of course, I'm the mother and everything, but there is this relationship with them that is uh, through yoga, meaning um, I'm serving you as not only a mother, right? Like the mother is my title, let's say, but beyond this, I'm serving you. And everything, really everything else. I don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
It took a while, of course, to get there, but I guess at this point, it's like everything. Yeah. Mm.
Amazing. Well, then to the aspiring student, your advice is,
To do everything with love. Absolutely. Um, Many years ago, Dharma said, and he always says it, but when the first time I heard this, he probably said it before, but I didn't hear it before. And then one day, click, and he said, everyone, love everyone, see divinity in every being, everywhere, right? And I said, oh, Jesus said that. And then I started putting one, plus one together, not plus two. And I said, oh, yes. And I started practicing. I really started practicing that. Yeah? Like consciously practicing that.
yeah,
And I said, this is so easy. It brings so much joy. That was my thing. Right? Like, oh, this brings so much joy. Yeah? And and that's how it just started, really. Um, so I tell the students always to look what is it that all of us, right? What is it that we're not receptive to the love that we are, right? And not to hide anything. Like I need to work on this, I need to work on that. This is an impediment, this is an obstacle, whatever it is, so that we can break that barrier that we created, no one else. So I tell them, um, our job is to return to love. We come from love, we go back to love. So this is the only thing that we have to do to
yes,
become love. So this is my constant saying, it, which is what I have learned, you know, through with Dharma, to remember that and to embody that, right? More
yes,
and more, right?
yes. That's really beautiful, Flora. For some reason, I'm just imagining you on the train or subway going from Long Island into the city and you sitting in a cart and seeing everything as God. Like the cart is God, the people are God, the handle that you're holding onto, the seat. Do you
Yeah,
have those sort of blissful?
absolutely. Yeah. One day I actually was on the train and I was reading the Gita like a couple of nights before, and then and I'm in the train and say, okay, here we go in the chariot, and
Yeah,
all the
yeah,
senses. Here we go, so many of chariots, so many horses, and I was
yes.
just like, wow, and I started laughing. I remember I started laughing so much because it was the comparison was like really intense, and then I went to Dharma. I was going on my way to Dharma, and when I got there, he looked at me and he said, "You have been reading the Gita," and I said, and we just laughed.
Yeah, you better, yeah, that
I
is
said, "Yeah,
funny. Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's so great.
yeah,
You know, oh, that's awesome. I recently had a really amazing experience where someone that's younger, who's my son's age, reached out to me and started asking questions and I didn't know where it was coming from. It just seemed like it was coming so far out of left field because we'd never really had any deep conversation the entire time I've known him since he was like 4 years old until 19. We never really exchanged many words. And he came out with so much depth and so much uh, deep inquiry that it kind of shocked me a little. I was like, where's this coming from all of a sudden? And he was having a quandary with the good people and the bad people in the world, you know, like just having a wrestling with where I wrestle with that stuff all the time. And so I was like, wow, I have another friend here to we can wrestle together with these ideas. And I brought up the Bhagavad Gita and I was trying to explain to him a little this idea of Arjuna looking across the battlefield and seeing people that he loved and people that he respected and teachers that he had studied with that were now in opposition to him and that he was being called to hold his truth and go into that battle and be active with it. And I don't know how well or it didn't land, um, but it felt good to have some sort of old story to relate that somehow I guess more than what I was trying to come across with was we just to we just have to do this. We just have to keep living, even though it's so hard. And I understand these questions are so difficult, but I just think all I'm trying to do is just keep living, and I know it'll work out if I just keep living and keep working at it. Can you share any insights that you've gleaned from reading the Bhagavad Gita beyond or even more than what we've already covered?
Sure. Um, well, definitely, the Bhagavad Gita has helped me to not only to discipline myself, but to um, to diminish, no, the the ignorance, right? A lot of self knowledge, right? A lot of contemplation on it, right? Like, and I love the fact that it's not real, but it's real. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like,
Yeah. That
that's
is really
written the
cool,
whole
isn't it?
thing,
It is
right?
so cool.
Yeah. And I remember once I was given a lecture in a teacher's training that I was participating in, teaching it, and there was one of the students. She said, "I can't read the book," and I said, "Well, why not?"
Yeah. Some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there you are. I got a little message and the
Oh,
sound cut out. And so I'm not sure what happened, but we're good. We're good.
okay. Okay. So this student said, "I can't read this book.
Mm.
Um, it's not. I can't. What do you mean? Kill your family? Kill them all?" And that this makes no sense. You're teaching me ahimsa, and you want me to do this, to read this. And he said, "No, no, no. Wait, you didn't understand. Uh, wait, this is the mind. This is, the senses. These are the attachments. This is the." So I explained to her, what it meant, and she didn't understand it for a while. And she came back to me like a year later, and I said, "I finally got it." And I said, "That's amazing. You got it before I did. It took me years to
Yeah.
understand it and to really understand it, like to realize what it meant, deeper." And she's like, "Oh, really?" And I said, "Yes." I couldn't teach this until I really understood this. But um, uh, of course, it have helped me to um, not only the knowledge, but to keep going, to keep going,
Yeah. To keep going.
and to keep going with love, more and more, more and more. You know? It's like the strongest force, right? Love. So I will picture myself, yeah, as Arjuna riding the chariot, and I would say, "Oh, I have been in this chariot many times." Yeah? That kept me going to realize that the only thing that was moving Arjuna was love, nothing else. that everything was just Krishna going through. So, yeah.
Yeah, beautiful, Flora. That's a great,
Mm,
great insight. Love that.
mm,
As you were explaining that, it made me think where the seeming contradiction is of nonviolence, but yet being told to go to battle against those that we once admired is more a story of don't wither and run from the influences that are pulling you from good, but run toward it with love.
mm,
And it's not that you're fighting. It's not that you're going and killing them, even though the story kind of talks about a battle, but it's almost like more go at it with love. Go at the anger and the fear and the hate with love. Am I getting it close? Do you think that's
yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. I agree. I mean,
yeah,
I mean, what are we defeating is our own perception, first of all, right? If
yeah,
it's wrong, the perception is wrong, that there will be suffering for us, suffering for everyone, suffering for all beings. But if I take that place with love, I really become a warrior of love, a warrior of peace. All I'm doing is being Cupid, perhaps.
Cupid.
Like,
I like
something like,
it.
like, wow, okay, I
Yeah,
can do this. Like, this is the only thing that I can do. Like,
that's
this is
it.
great. I don't have to worry about anything. I don't even see the violence if it's
Yeah,
because I'm bringing something else. There's
yeah,
no one to defeat, right? Other than my own perception. So that was, I mean, for me, it took me a while to see that, of course. As the journey went deeper, I was like, okay, it's my own thing.
yeah,
Wait,
yeah,
I have my own battle is here.
yeah,
There is no battle. Of course, it's projecting, but it was, oh, this is the one I have to fix.
yeah.
So,
That's
yeah,
amazing, Floor. That's really cool. I think you're doing a great job of putting it into an understanding. I get it.
yeah. Mm,
You know what? I guess a question I have for you around, I guess around this theme, I
mm,
have friends here in Florida who are from Venezuela, and I ask them questions like, what was it like? Why did you leave? And I hear stories that it can be very difficult there, that the way things are structured, that it's much different from here, and that there's a lot of challenges that the common local people face. I'm curious from your perspective, do you feel that life is challenging everywhere and life is amazing everywhere? And or do you feel gratitude to be here, not there? Do you have a sense of longing to be there, not here? How do you process all of this?
I, well, let's say home is here. So wherever I am, home is with me. So I don't have a problem being anywhere. I'm good wherever I am. Yeah. Wherever I have to be, I'm okay. There's no problem. Um, as an immigrant, of course, I went through challenges. There are many challenges here in New York, um, but I made my way to whatever I made, and I'm happy. If I go back to Venezuela, I'm also happy. When I travel, I'm also happy. Um, there, I remember leaving Venezuela not because of the political situation or anything else. I came here to dance. Mm? So, but I but but I also remember um, telling my father, I need to get out. Can you help me? All you have to do is help me to pay the ticket. That's it. Because there was no way for him to support me. And he said, okay, let's do it. And he helped me. And he said, where are you going to go? And he said, well, besides dancing, I need to get out. I can't breathe here. I need to go. And he said, okay, I'll send you out, but you have to work. And I said, of course.
Wow.
So Um, I think the we humans, the nature of the mind, right? When it's not at peace, we're gonna have problems wherever we go, because it's the mind. It's not wherever we are. Of course, there are difficult places, but at the end, it's the mind. At the end, it's the mind. So I don't long to go anywhere, but if I have the opportunity to go somewhere, it's great. Yeah,
Yeah. Yes, understood.
yeah. It's
Good
not.
answer. Great answer. Yeah. Wow, being a dad with a daughter, I think, oh, sending my daughter to another country just with that sort of like having no idea how it's going to work out. That's such bravery. That's amazing, Flor.
Yeah.
But when we're young, we just like we don't even care, right? We're going. We don't even care. We're like, you could throw me into any situation. I will survive. There's nothing can take me
Absolutely.
down. I mean, isn't that amazing? That spirit, that drive to like
Absolutely.
be like, I have $5 in my pocket. I don't even care. I'm going. Like that is such a
Great.
cool, such
Yeah.
a scary and great place to be
Yeah.
all at the same time. Yeah.
When I moved to New York, I had $200. That was it.
Wow, Flor.
$200. I have
Yeah.
paid the school, the dance school from Venezuela. I saved and I paid so that I can, because I had a student visa, right? But it was not the regular student visa. They also allow me to work. And um, I had no place to stay. I was supposed to stay at someone's place, and I did for 1 week. And then the person decided that it was no good to share, and I said, okay. So I rode this subway many nights up and down with
Wow.
the suitcase, and then I left it in the dance school, and then little by little I met people, and they helped me, one night
Yeah.
here and there. But um, but it was great because I was dancing. So it was not even a struggle to be on the subway. And that was a dangerous subway back then. But
I
it would go
believe
up
it.
and down.
I
And
believe it.
and at 8 a.m. I was already showering in the school. Perfect.
Yeah.
So, so it was no problem. It's like, uh,
Do your two, I mean, if this is too personal, I understand if you don't want to answer, but do your two children, did they inherit your sort of adventurous work ethic, or did you have to really push them and say, look, you guys, I came with $200. I rode the subway. I had nowhere to stay. You can't be entitled and think that you should be given it. I mean, you know what I mean? That classic kind of parent-child speech that we feel like
yeah.
I have to give them sometimes. I'm like, you're so lucky, man. I had to work so hard, that type of thing. How did that evolve for you?
No, they're amazing.
Yeah.
My son is like, he works so hard, but he enjoys life.
Yeah.
He told me, "You're a legend. You taught me everything,
Oh,
and I have this because of you." This wow, and I said, "No, no, you also have it."
yeah.
But yeah, he's a trooper. He's an amazing guy. He lives in Puerto Rico now, and he's a surfer, and he works like crazy and surfs, and he's happy. And my daughter too. She's completely independent. Graduated 2 years ago from college, and she lives in her own place and pays her own rent and everything, and works hard, and she loves it. So, of course, I'm always there if they need me.
Yeah.
But it's they're very independent. Yes,
Oh,
they're
congratulations, Flora. That is really cool. Well done. Wow. Well, I am so grateful to Andrew Jones for introducing us to each other, and I just can't express enough gratitude for uh, him and you to be open to being to conversing like this, and it's just really a pleasure, Flora. You have a really amazing just overall outlook, and it's just so refreshing, and I really hope that I can meet you in person one day and practice and maybe sing to some cows with you or some birds or something. All
okay.
right.
I would love to do that, especially the cow one.
Yeah. I don't know
Thank
how many
you.
cows we'll see in New York, but maybe
Yeah.
maybe I'll have to come visit you out in the countryside somewhere. Or
Yeah,
maybe we need to start looking at the people on the street as wild animals, and we'll sing for them or something. I don't know.
absolutely. The animal within.
That's right. That's right.
Now it's been an honor to be here with you, and yes, thank you to Andrew, and thank you.
Thank you, Flora.
Much.
Have a wonderful day. I really appreciate it.
You too, Todd. Thank you. Ciao.